Unsyndicated presents Off the Air with Sean Baligian.
Hi, how are you? Everything going well? Fantastic. Then you know the drill at the beginning of the show. Let me make sure that I get all the links out there and everything. So I guess one could say this is an old man question, okay? That I want to pose to you guys. And I think, Todd, you're in the same generation that I am in this regard. And it's funny, I won my son over. He had no interest in what I'm about to bring up. It wasn't his generation, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm intrigued to see what you got. Good evening, Tom. Let me give me just a second to put all these things out. All right. So I have one more to do. Excuse me for just a second. Talk amongst yourselves. This is the thing that I'm going to say. Here's the question. Are you ready? Do you still buy magazines? Todd, do you buy magazines? Do you go to this? It's Todd shaking his head. No. Did you at one point in time buy magazines? Okay. But you are done with magazines. That's it. Okay. So the thing that I do every year, and it's funny, my son actually brought it up to me the other day, is he said, when are you getting the magazine? I usually get two. What's up, Eric? I usually get two college football preview magazines. My guy, Phil Steele. Hello, Jason. Tigers Simple Math Time. There's a joke there. If you guys don't remember Simple Math. Everybody remembers Simple Math. I'm done fighting it. Nobody remembers statistical probability. They all remember Simple Math, okay? But this is what I'm doing right now. Todd put in the chat. My favorite magazines all went belly up. Fair enough. Like literally the only magazines I get is I will go to Barnes & Noble to get Phil Steele's magazine, because not only do I know Phil a little bit, you know, I think I told you guys that story about Phil and I kind of starting at the same time. But I truly think it's the best magazine there is. I truly do. Although I think Pick Six is pretty good. The guy's on Twitter. So I get that, and I always get a Lindy's. Always get a Lindy's. Don't know why. That I think that goes back to when I was a kid. I always got Lindy's magazine, and I always get a Lindy's. So it was funny because my son said to me, I miss magazine days. I'm with you there. Dave, yeah, I always get one now, college football. I get two. And let me tell you what I do, all right? One goes in one bathroom, the other goes in the other bathroom. It is the best reading on the throne. There's no other way to say it. And it was funny because I'm not joking. My son said to me last night, he was like, Dad, isn't it time that you get the magazine? And I said, I'm actually going Thursday. I'm going to go get Phil's magazine. And then if I see the Lindy's, I'll pick up the Lindy's. But for the younger generation out there, you know, like my son, he just didn't grow up with magazines. Now, the only other magazine that I get on a routine basis is Hockey News. Old habits die hard. And if you remember, there used to be Hockey Digest, and then that, Todd, to use your term, that went belly up. But legitimately, Hockey News is easy. It just comes to your house, and that's that. But like for me, the college football magazine is an absolute. It's a must. Okay, it is, and this is why I don't feel the NFL magazine is a must. We know everything about those teams, right? We do, about the NFL teams. I can sit here on July 2nd and tell you, by the way, we're only 29 days away from the Lions for what it's worth. You know, and I can tell you just about enough about every team in the National Football League, okay? Are there still lingering questions? Of course, all right? But I think the beauty of college football is, you know the big teams and you know your team. You know, if you're a Spartan fan, you know what's going on with Michigan State. You know, obviously Michigan is back in the high life again. Shout out to Steve Winwood. So you know what's going on with them as well. But you know what? I want to read about Purdue and I want to read about Vanderbilt. You know, who put together that cute little stretch last year with Diego Pavia. And, you know, you want to read about Washington State. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why the college football magazine is so cool to me. And here's the difference, okay? And some of my greatest thinking happens in the throne room, okay? Some of my greatest thinking happens in the throne room. A lot of the bits that I did over the years, they started in the throne room. I'm just telling you right now, okay? So I can't do this when I'm in the throne room. See what I'm doing? I'm looking at my phone. I'm not real good at that. I'm not real good at that. But what I can do is do this. Yeah. Yeah. You know, you kind of lean back. Yeah. Oh my gosh, did you die in there? Huh? You know, I mean, that type of stuff. So just a simple question. Is that something that you do to get yourself ready for the season? Oh, I like what he Beckett Boys Life when I was 11 and Mustang Monthly, like hot rods, but just for Mustangs. I love Beckett. Oh my gosh, the monthly Beckett. I can still remember all the all the covers when I was a kid too. It's crazy. So let me see. I got to catch up on a whole bunch of comments here. Appreciate you guys. Did you see who is the starter in center field for the All-Star game? Is it official? Is it official? I did not see that. Math is never simple. We found that out in 2009. People still do that to me. You understand that, right? 16 years later. They don't remember statistical probability 2 years later and me beating Killer for 100 conies. But everybody remembers simple math. I missed the magazine days. I haven't bought a magazine in a decade. SI really could have rivaled ESPN if they played that CNN SI sports partnership right back in the day. They didn't. Now a decent chance both will not be around in 20 years. Dude, I am with you 1,000%. Like when I was a kid, when Sports Illustrated came on a Thursday, it was the greatest day ever. Like I vividly remember walking home from school and we had one of those houses where the mailbox was across the street. I didn't even walk in the house. I walked directly to the mailbox to go pick up my SI. I mean, directly to the mailbox to go pick up the SI, right? And, you know, and then it let's be honest. I mean, when SI came to your house on Thursday, it was talking about things that happened 4 or 5 days earlier that you had seen multiple times on ESPN. So it kind of ran out of its usefulness. And that's what happened with Hockey Digest and me. Hockey Digest was weeks behind, right? I still dig the hockey news. I think that's more traditionalist. I don't get a whole heck of a lot out of it. I got to be honest with you. I like the season previews. I like the draft previews. I like the draft previews a lot more when I was doing Major Junior, though, when I was broadcasting those games, because it was like, you know, I knew every one of those kids. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I knew literally every one of those kids. Todd, what do you got for me there? Look at that. Look at Kleber. Riley. Javi Baez. Just sit back. Come on, is this real? If I told you a year ago Javi Baez would be an all-star starter, you guys would have asked for a urine sample. This is not urine, by the way, okay? This is not. I just want to get that out there right now. I put like a little vitamin C pill in there. All right, let me see what else. I used to always have to get out the SI college football preview, but that's out the window now. Nudie magazines. Okay, true. All right. Seriously. Eric, you brought it up. When's the last time you looked at a nudie magazine? Right? I think in my buddy's fort in like 1983. All right. Honestly. Pick six preview online is good stuff. Dave, I 100% agree with you. Matt does a great job. We followed each other like since the beginning. I agree with you. I brought that up earlier. I will second that. Hockey News was a newspaper back in the day. Yes, I missed the newspaper form. I'm not going to lie. Does Hockey News still do print? They get the magazines, like the big magazines. They get, like previews and things like that. Pick three. That did not start on the toilet. Doug said, I think the Iser plan is a bust. Not happy with the way Steve is playing it, but I'm sure Chris Ilitch is playing a little part of it. I don't get it. We talked about it in mass last night, Doug. I don't get it. I don't understand what he's trying to do. And in the interest of being fair, I'll say this. Are the Detroit Red Wings a better team right now on July 2nd than they were on the last day of this season? I believe so. I do. I believe, just in the form of John Gibson. I think that they're a better team. The problem is they were already behind many teams in the East by a good portion. And the teams that they're in the mix for the playoff hunt, I think they're even farther behind. So I guess that's a good news, bad news scenario. Honestly, I think John Gibson makes them better. I'm terrified of their defense core. Every single one of you should be. I didn't mind the Mason Appleton pick, and I'm not just saying that because he's a Spartan and I called his overtime winner against Michigan Tech. I think he's a bottom six good depth player. Okay? Not top six. I think he's a bottom six good depth player. That not a bad thing to do to add a player of that caliber. I'm terrified of their defense core. And as we were talking about last night, you guys, and I've always picked my words carefully in regards to a certain team that wears bleu, blanc, et rouge, okay? They're loaded. You can't deny that. I can't deny that. I can try to be safe and not be a slapdick and all that. And by the way, I'm not saying that they're ready to seriously compete yet. I'm not ready to say that, all right? They were a better team last year, and they're going to be a heck of a lot better this year. And I think in 2 years, legitimately, they are possible making a run. I really, truly believe that. But look, anytime you could add a guy like Noah Dobson to an already sick defense core, and now you're going to have a full year of Demidov. College Football Matrix Online is pretty good stuff. He's a great dude, by the way. You know that. Do you remember he used to be on the show years ago? He used to be on the show years ago. Sports Illustrated was the GOAT of magazines. It was greatest day ever when that came to your house. Like Thursday, that was greatest day ever. Just another reason for me to blow off my homework. Shout out to my dad. My dad would go nuts. That was one of our funny stories. My dad, like when he passed, I had to go up and give like the speech and everything. And I told the story when I was a kid. My dad used to do this thing to me all the time. He'd go, who won the Stanley Cup in 1980? And I'd go, stop it. Who won Super Bowl 13? I go, Dad, you're making a fool of yourself. And then he'd ask me some school question. And he'd go, what's that useless sports information going to do you any good when you're older? Gee, I don't know, Dad. Don't think that I didn't throw that in his face no less than 700 times while that man was living. I'll bet you I would take the over on that. I probably threw that in my old man's face well over 700 times. Eric said, is this your last show before the holiday weekend? Yes. We'll be back Monday. Shep and I will be back Monday. And then I don't know if we're going to do something hockey on Tuesday, or maybe you're just stuck with me. And then just reiteration, we're going to Greece. The family and I are going to Greece. That's one of those things we always talked about doing. Nudie Magazine Day. Nick said in 4th grade in a cornfield, stack of Playboys older kids had. Hid. Yeah, that's it. It's something like that. Last time I looked at it, Wings are way behind teams that they are chasing right now. There's no doubt about that. You could be the biggest Wings fan in the world. Okay, if you don't acknowledge that, I don't know what to tell you. Now, okay, let's play a game of pretend. Let's say that Lucas Raymond takes a big step next year. Let's say that Mo Sider takes a big step next year. After the last couple of years of kind of doing this, where it was like going like this and then it kind of stopped, right? Let's say that Casper, who I really like Casper. Casper's even better than he was last year, which is usually the way that development works. If all those things come together, could they maybe creep in the 8th? I still don't think so, but I think you're giving yourself a shot. The problem is, again, I keep talking about it. Sorry, I've been a broken record for the last couple of years, and you also have to include the word right in there. This division works against them. This division's a bitch. It's the toughest in hockey. And now Montreal and Ottawa kind of figured it out and did it in a shorter time than Detroit did. I'll give you Gibson. Yeah, Doug, that's it. No, mind you, remember I'm saying this, Doug. I'm with you. I feel you. But in the interest of being fair, I have to bring up Gibson. Gibson's a better goaltender than anybody we saw last year with Detroit. Name them. Seriously. Lyon, Mrazek, Kosa, obviously Talbot, better than any of those guys. He's not the same guy he was 5 years ago, but I'm not saying that this is full on Tarasenko. Like a year ago at this time, I told you guys, I don't know why everybody's losing their mind over Tarasenko. He's not that guy anymore. I thought last year, I stayed up late. I got that center ice package. I watch Anaheim a lot, and he looked like John Gibson again. The problem was they had a young starter who was playing better. But is he ready to take a lion's share of starts away? I don't think so. Joe said, Yzerplan, wings move 2 steps. Everyone moves 5 steps. That's an even better analogy. That's an even better analogy. That's yes, they did a little of this, and other teams have gone like that. Jason said, are they better at goalie? Yes, if Gibson doesn't get hurt, and that's a wish upon a star type of wish. That's a huge factor as well. That's the swimsuit issue. Okay, true story. I hated the swimsuit issue when I was a kid. Hated it. I'm not being funny. I was one of those one-track mind kids. Think about it. 12 years old, you want to, I want to pick up Sports Illustrated, and I want to read about this, that, and the other thing. What are all these yucky girls full of cooties doing in my Sports Illustrated? Dear Sports Illustrated, I'm writing you this letter to inform you that I no longer wish to receive Sports Illustrated. And then I'd rip it up because my life, I couldn't exist without that coming in the mail every Thursday. I start therapy tomorrow. Good luck. Austin said, one thing I didn't get a chance to ask you guys last night. Which NHL team made you scratch your head at the offseason moves? Which teams other than your Habs impressed you? Rangers? I think Rangers. They're Charmony soft. You know it as well as I do. And I think they know it too. But that's a team that I think is going to go back in the right direction. Kyle Dubas in Pittsburgh, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. And I understand why all the speculation is out there that Sidney Crosby might want to leave. Now, I know Brisson kind of shot that down the last few days ago, but does he really want to go through another season like that? I'm not being funny. At this juncture of his career, does he want to do that? He's going to be 38 in a few weeks, right? Does he really want to do that? Go through that grind with that team again? I don't know. Seems the Wings got some players 5 years past their prime. Jason said 2 original Facebook monkeys chiming in. Going to be an epic show or a train wreck. I appreciate you guys. It was a decade ago, but Gibson's World Junior Tournament back in the day was the stuff of gods. It really was. Don't deny when you got to see hot girls in thongs. Yeah, but Eric, when I was a kid, I didn't want to see it. I really didn't. Utah Mammoth. I'm going to tell you what, you guys. The most underrated player in the league is Clayton Keller, period. And you get a little something around that guy. And I think Now, chances are people that watch this, if you're wasting your time on a Wednesday night, you're a pretty big sports fan. But you know what I'm saying. The guys, unless you're all in, I don't think people realize how good Clayton Keller is. And the Mammoth, you get some stuff around him, he's gonna give people the opportunity to see how good he is. Great kid as well. I did his games when he was with NTDP. Great kid. And he's doing I'm not joking, a fantastic job. I mean that, a fantastic job in Utah. And a vast majority of people aren't even noticing it. If you're bored, go look up his numbers and you'll see what I'm saying. Really stinking good player. All right, Todd, I got to kind of catch up here, okay? So let me pull one of these out, if I may. How about we start with Mr. Mike? It's Mr. Mike's birthday in a couple days. Mike Husak and Jeff Husak, the Wealth Advantage Group. That's Mike Husak on the left. So we would have the big barbecue in our backyard. Todd, I was telling you about that for years. And at the same time, they would have a barbecue / Mr. Mike birthday party, a / 4th of July thing. And we used to have water fights over the fence every year. I kid you not. And it got exotic. Like at first it was just, okay, water balloons. And then they would hide people in the woods behind my house. And then I would send Jack and a bunch of his weasel friends on reconnaissance around the house and launch the grenade balloons over the fence. It was outstanding. So why am I telling you that? Well, to tell you he's a great guy. I've known him for a long time, and he's taken care of me and my family, along with his brother Jeff on the right for many, many years. These guys are located in historic downtown Northville, owned by, as I mentioned, those two guys right there, and they understand that your financial goals are as unique as you are. If you're saving for retirement, you're getting ready to sell retirement, maybe you're at that age where I was in 15, 20 years ago, I was like, hey, wait a second. Maybe I should do something with my money and start to plan for the future. These guys have your back. They work with clients throughout all stages of life, and they have clients in over 20 different states. The investment world is a complex one, so you need to start taking your finances more seriously and talk to the experts. Reach out to my guys at the Wealth Advantage Group at 248-773-8574 or check out their website at www.thewealthadv.com. Yes, Clayton Keller. I've drafted him almost every year in fantasy. Just an underrated player. You know how there's always that guy that seems to fly under the radar? For so many years when I was a kid, it was Dale Hawerchuk. Dale Hawerchuk would put up these ghastly numbers, but because Winnipeg never had any playoff success, I don't think the average fan knew who Dale Hawerchuk was for many, many, many years. Just like a third Facebook monkey fantasy football seasons. Oh, gosh. Remember that? The Malik. Oh, Vandella. Don't get me started. Jeez, oh, Pete, Todd. Oh, my goodness gracious. The Malik Beasley story is just sad. Did you guys see that thing on in the Detroit News? Just like, dude, like how can you get yourself in that position, right? Like I'm not even like how can you do that? I don't get it. That's something I don't know. For me, maybe it's different. Boy, did Flaherty pick it up. My gosh. Did you see he's got 9 Ks now? Did you see that, Todd? We were just talking about this before. He has been on a horrible stretch. He really has. And all of a sudden, he got red hot. My gosh. Jeez, oh, Pete. Troublemaker of the neighborhood. No, that was fun. Might be a hot take, but the Red Wings are missing A players. You need at least 5 or more to win in this men's league, as Holland says. Larkin is no higher than a B+. I don't think that's a hot take at all, Tom. I couldn't agree with you more. And I bet you if we asked everybody, who's a star for the Detroit Red Wings? Go. Did you hear that silence? Did you hear it? They don't have a star right now. They don't. That doesn't mean that Mo Sider still couldn't graduate to that level. That doesn't mean that Lucas Raymond couldn't graduate to that level. That doesn't mean that Casper can't graduate to that level. That doesn't mean that ASP can't. Right now, today, what you said, Tom, is factual. And like people need to grasp that. They do. They period, end of story. They need to grasp that. I think we talked about this last night. I saw somebody say, well, at least they locked up their core. Oh, well, do you want to compare their core to everybody else's core? Do you really want to do that? Do you want to compare Mo Sider, Dylan Larkin, and Lucas Raymond to, the quote-unquote core that other teams locked up? It doesn't compare favorably. I'll leave it at that. It just doesn't. It does not compare favorably. So, Tom, I agree with you. I think everybody agrees with you. 7 straight Ks for Jack. Good for him. Good for him. Flaherty's numbers through 5, 3 earned runs, 9 Ks. He had been struggling, and he struggled early, and he's been walking too many people, man. Go look at his starts. I think he's at now? 19 walks like in the last 30 innings. You're just begging for trouble. You just are. So Florida is the odds all favorite to win it again. Can that be argued right now this minute? Yes. Do you know what I think stops them from winning the club or winning the cup again, Jason? Gas. I mean that. Gas. Do they have enough gas left in the tank? We saw that incredible run by the Red Wings in the late 90s, right? 95 finals. Nobody likes what happened, but they went to the finals. 96 conference finals. 97 champion. 98 champion. 99 they looked like they were ready to make another run again, and we made the big moves at the deadline. And then after beating Colorado the first 2 games of that series, they simply ran out of gas. No other way to say that. None. No other way to say that. And I'll tell you point blank, I had a couple guys tell me privately that's exactly what happened. Hey, when it comes time to get yourself a house, you're buying, you're selling, you need to contact the right agent. Who do we recommend? Lindsay Broadwell. Your house is probably the biggest investment you will ever make, and that's why you need a pro. Lindsay grew up on the mean streets of Northville and has expanded her team all over Southeast Michigan. She's an expert in all facets of the business. So when it's time to move, our friend Lindsay and her team will make sure you get the most out of your house and everything goes smoothly when finding your new home. Buyer, seller, first-time buyer, doesn't matter. Make sure you reach out to Lindsay. Lindsay at BroadwellHomes.com. She'll help you with everything from start to close. Licensed realtor at Real Broker LLC. Start your search today at BroadwellHomes.com. I'm glad you guys are all chatty tonight. It's a lot of fun. 98 pitches. He's probably done. Eric said Dylan Larkin is a star. Eric, you're out of your mind. Sorry. He's not a star. He's a good number 2 center. So we can start the why does Sean hate Larkin things again. And this is how I always say it. Look at number 1 centers around the league and then compare to Dylan Larkin. And I don't know what to tell you. He's a good player. He is. He's a good player. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's why we make fun of the why does Sean hate Dylan Larkin stuff. He's a good player. I would take Dylan Larkin on my team right now as my number 2 center. Thank you. Wanted. Number 1 center. Absolutely. The Facebook Monkey Fantasy Football group is still alive and well. Only like 5 of the originals, though. Wow, that's crazy, Jason. What is that, 14, 15 years ago? That's crazy. Casper's going to be a star soon. I really like him. I'm with you there. Beasley, I'll gladly pay you double tomorrow for a hamburger today. Next day, oops, forgot my wallet. Eiserman putting a package together to get Celebrini from the Sharks. Yeah, sure he is. Olympics will take some more gas out. Austin, I'm with you. Yep. Look at the effect it had on them. I mean, especially the way the Kachucks play, right? That's going to take more out of them. Look what Four Nations took out of Larkin and Raymond. They weren't the same player after they came back. Neither one of them were. Maybe he's thinking about getting Joe Thornton out of retirement. Dave said, very good even, but not great. Larkin, good player, good role player. I like him. I like that's why we laugh. Like, why do you hate Dylan Larkin? And then, you have people like Eric saying, you only hate him because he went to Michigan. I don't hate him at all. I like the guy. He's a good player. But don't ask me to call him something he's not. And that's a problem we have in this city, as we know. I mean, it way too much of that. Way too much. The Beasley stuff is wild. As someone who knows something, as someone who knows someone who had a gambling thing, I hope he gets help and has accountability first and foremost. But you got to question the integrity of some of those games. Austin, some of the stuff I saw on social media, I'm sure you saw as well, were eye-popping. And I'm with you. I will never forget. I don't even want to give the full details. Unfortunately, I lost track of this person because he was so in a bad place. But I was with somebody who had told us for weeks that he was done. He was done gambling. He was done gambling. And we were all out. I don't want to get too deep into it because I haven't talked to the guy in years, but I don't want him. Well, you guys wouldn't know anyway. We were at a Monday night game, and the Monday night game ended very strangely, right? And we were all going, oh. And I looked over, and this is when Monday Night Football was a big thing, and like there were bar specials and everything. We looked over, and this guy broke into tears. And I knew immediately. I swear to God, I knew immediately. And my heart sunk. Like legitimately, my heart sunk. And he confessed to us, guys, hey, I've been lying. I don't even want to tell you. Like that crazy play just cost me a shitload of money. And he checked himself into one of those places. And then it, you know how it is oftentimes with addiction when you deal with people that are addicted, the lies and I'll borrow money off you and don't worry, I'll get you back and all that stuff. It's unfortunate. But Austin, and for a rare, serious moment, I'm with you. Tip of the cap, man. It is a disease for those people. They need it like they need air, food, water, and shelter. I'm glad I stopped. I'm serious. I say it all the time. Right? If this was around when I was a kid, I don't even want to think about it. Don't even want to think about it. I just stopped. Now it's different when I'm like in Vegas. I'll go to Mandalay and all right, I have amount of money. I'm going to put my numbers down, but that's it. If I lose it, I lose it. You're not talking about trying to chase it back. Well, I just lost 500 on this 1 o'clock game. You know what? I'm going to try to win it back and then some at 4 o'clock. And then it turns into 8 o'clock. And then it turns into the Monday Night Miracle. And that's, that's a slippery downward spiral, 100% nailed it about gas. The other is injuries. They got everyone coming back in the playoffs. Hyman got injured for the Oilers. Not that Hyman is the main cog, but he really helped grease the wheels. 100%. I will never know, nor will you, nor will anybody else, what that series might have been had you seen that guy healthy. Shauner hates the Wings. Larkin in Michigan. Hate. I love that bit. Phones are a disaster to society. Just the betting stuff on here. The fact you are literally giving somebody a loaded gun and handing it to them with these apps. For some of these people, they cannot stay away. Oh, Tom, I remember Proline. I won $700. It's Miso Ju in Montreal. I won $700 when I was in Montreal on like the strangest 14 parlay. And we were watching one of the games in the bar, and when the big, I think it was the Nordique against the Oilers or something. And this was past the prime Oilers, but they were still pretty good. Early 90s. And I won $700 and we just went nuts. Sober rise in dopamine is very hard to overcome. Factual statement. Hey, did you know that thousands of Metro Detroiters have already called Legacy Partners to get help with their home and auto insurance? Our friends at Legacy are one of Southeast Michigan's top independent insurance agents. They provide a full-service, one-stop solution for all of your insurance needs, personal and business, large and small. Legacy has helped our listeners by fixing mistakes other agents have made, asking the right questions to get the right coverage put in place to help save you money. I can't stress this enough. Do you know what the Legacy difference is? When they see something coming down the pipe, they call you. They let you know what's going on, and they make the appropriate suggestions so you don't get caught off guard. What are you waiting for? Give Legacy a chance to help with your home, your cars, life insurance, Medicare enrollment, whatever you need. These guys got your back. Give them a call. 586-209-4106 or visit legacypartnersins.com to get started with your new quotes. Let me check in with what's going on with the Tigers, down 3-1 right now. But as I teased earlier, and again, everybody remember simple math, okay? Tigers have a 12.5 game lead. 12.5 game lead on July 2nd. It's been 11 years since they won the Central Division. Might you go out and be buying yourself a "We Own the Central Again" shirt? They're going to win the division, right? You guys know that, right? Right. It's 3-2 now. Thank you. Shauner has Gretzky money when he goes to Mandalay Bay. He takes $100 chips from Jordan and tells him this is how we tip in Vegas. I think I told you guys I won a very... I don't even want to say the number. I won a very significant amount of money there on a Ole Miss Florida bet. It was the famous Tim Tebow. I'm going to tell you, we'll never have a game like this again. I promise I'll never do anything like this again the rest of my career. And these Florida guys were just berating me the whole game. And I just kept saying to them, I don't care if Ole Miss loses. Just cover the spread. And then when it got real at the end, and there was no way I was going to chirp because there were like 5 of them and they probably would have beat me up. But I kept on saying, wow, is Ole Miss going to win outright? And they actually won outright. And Todd, I think I told you this. Chris was sitting next to me and she was getting increasingly impatient because we had to walk about 5 minutes down the road to go see, what is that thing called? Blue Green Man, whatever. What's it called? Green Man Group, whatever. Dumb thing. And she was going, we're going to be late. It was at Paris and Mandalay. If you're familiar with Vegas, it's probably longer than 5 minutes. And finally, I just looked at her and I said, just give me like literally 2 minutes. See the clock. Just give me 2 minutes. We're going to be late. So finally, I just said, okay, here's why I'm waiting. If you give me that, I'm going to give you, I'm not going to tell you, it was a significant amount. And her eyes got big and she was like, why didn't you tell me? So in 2 minutes, I knew what was good for me, Todd. When I won that money, I went and cashed the card in and just said, here you go, and handed her the money. And I got an allowance. It was so sweet of her. Like $15. Oh, so kind. Wonderful. Blue Man Group. Yeah. I won 50. Someone bet me I couldn't keep my finger in my nose for an hour. That's awesome. Dare to dream. All right, Todd, one more thing, and then we're going to get out of here. By the way, what are you guys doing the 4th? You guys barbecuing? I got kind of the all-day thing going on. I think I'm going to do burgers and dogs early, and then I'm doing like my variation of the Texas torpedo. I have a small brisket. I'm going to cut off the ends. I'm going to chop up the ends and stuff it into a jalapeno pepper with some cream cheese as well, and kind of smoke those along with the brisket and the Duroc ribs. So yes, drinking 40 ounces. That sounds like a good day. All About Catering LLC, full service caterer. Hey, listen, if you want to just sit around and eat somebody else's cooking and drink those 40 ounces, All About Catering will take care of you. Graduations, weddings, bridal showers, corporate events, anything you need catering for from 25 to 4,000 people, All About Catering can and will take care of you. Customer service and satisfaction is their number one goal. So do not sweat your next big event. Just go to allaboutcateringllc.com today to see all their menus and their 5-star reviews. Give them a call, 586-731-1398 to get your event started. Oh, grilling at Fairway Farms Swim Club. Good for you. Yeah, there's my dad. What's all that sports knowledge going to do for you? Have a good vacation. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Thank you. Our buddy Tom in London, Ontario said happy 4th to everybody. I hope you had a great Canada Day. Shauna knows. Happy wife, happy life. There you go. Take the check. Do what you need to do. If I see $15 of it, so be it. That sounds great. Listen, you guys, have yourselves a very fun, safe 4th. We're not going to be here tomorrow. Shep and I will be back Monday. We'll do something Tuesday, and then I'm going to Greece for 9 days. Until then, God bless you. See you. Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Off the Air with Sean Baligian. Executive produced by Sean Baligian and Todd Losey. Theme song, incidental music, and related sound effects are from Play It Loud by Jam Studio. Engineering, mixing, and graphic design support provided by the Unsyndicated Podcast team. Don't forget to like and subscribe on all your favorite channels. While you're there, be sure to rate and review the podcast. Got something to say to Sean? Call the Unsyndicated hotline at 248-237-3257.